Right.
I'm going to open stream so I can see the comments, and I'll also just do a tweet as well.
Okay. I will retweet that. What's happening, Raw? He's here already. Are we
Love that.
live? We're live, right? We are live.
Well,
It's working. So far, so good.
yeah, you are. We are. Okay, I'm going to tweet.
You want to link it? Link the thing.
Yeah,
And now
join me
it's
and
time. Do you watch UFC? No, I'm assuming not.
uh,
You don't watch UFC because I feel like I would have had a
no,
much
no.
better reaction to
Oh,
that.
sorry, man. No, I've never watched a full fight actually. I'm aware of
You've seen
Conor
clips.
McGregor, but that's
You're
about
you're
as
just
far as it
aware
goes.
of him.
And
Isn't he the guy
Khabib,
that
is
the?
it Khabib? Is that his name?
Aye, close enough. Aye.
Justin Khabib.
Yeah, close enough, mate. But he's Russian.
As
No, is he
we,
Slavian? Ah,
I mean, if you Dave, as we wild card pre-deadline.
yeah, he's Russian. I was right. I was right. What a fighter.
Yeah, I think yeah. Is he better than Conor McGregor?
Yeah, by a lot. Yeah.
Okay,
No
right.
one
I've
has
just.
ever beaten him, if that helps.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Whereas Conor McGregor has been beaten, hasn't he?
Aye.
But you might argue did more for the sport in terms of its reputation.
Aye, but didn't do it. It made him a millionaire, but also very
Yeah.
unhappy overall.
Is he unhappy? I follow him on
I don't
Instagram
know.
and he seems like a really happy chap.
Maybe.
But then I
He's
suppose everyone does on Instagram, don't they?
you can't take social media, can you? That's the crux. But I know it's just like he got beat and then he had to leave and then like he's a laughing stock his own place and all that
Mm,
good stuff.
yeah.
Aye.
He got arrested. Yeah.
Yeah, bit of a shame for him. I feel like he's
Yeah.
and he has to cut a whole bunch, and that just looks horrible. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
No, fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
Are you ready to talk about FPL though?
Yeah, that's probably what we should be talking about,
Yeah,
isn't
let's
it?
do it. Right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go for the 3, 2, 1, and then we'll start, and there'll be a little intro, and then I'll
Cool.
do a little intro, and then you can say hello. You beautiful man, you.
Yes, nice.
Right, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Let's go. Are we going?
What is happening, guys? Welcome to Firing Blanks. We are back. Long time no see. Long time no amazing co-hosts for an amazing podcast, an amazing streaming service with amazing advice, feedback, banter, all the good stuff.
Oh
James,
God, no. Dave, way to get the expectations up.
we are back.
Keep it
We have
modest.
arrived. Get the party started. I have bought, before I ask you how the fuck you are, I have bought a bottle of bourbon just because we're
Oh,
back. Like a commemorative, celebration. So I'm going to pop this in my glass while you tell us
it's
how
good
you
to
are.
see. Well, it's good to see you drinking again, Dave.
I know.
That
Maybe that's
time
why
when
I've
you
been.
stopped drinking was when I was probably. Usually, when someone starts turning to the drink, you get concerned about them. But in your case, the fact that you turned away from the drink was a serious cause for concern. So good to see you back on the bourbon.
You know what I think it
What have you gone
is?
for? Is it
This is
special?
no. It's just Buffalo Trace, kind of bottom shelf. Morrison's 20 quid if you really
Okay,
want it.
yeah.
But what was I saying? Yeah, how are you doing? How have you been doing since our hiatus from live stream? You look as good
Fine.
as ever.
Oh, thank you. I don't feel it though. Well, I do. I do. I feel I'm great. I'm fine. But as in, I don't feel. The gym shut. I haven't been getting outside very much. So I think the beard is in place to disguise the rapidly growing double chins.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, fine. Thank you. I've missed this. It's nice to be back.
Fire Blanks
Um,
is once again reborn.
I don't want to draw a direct parallel here, but I feel as though my FPL fortunes and doing this stream are somewhat intertwined because since the hiatus, I've been terrible when it comes to FPL. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping this will reverse my fortunes a little bit.
It's good to actually like think through what you're doing as opposed to you just taking like an hour yourself, see if like other people are asking you questions and you're going through things you wouldn't normally think about. I think my best ever season was when I was doing those articles like every single weekend for,
Yeah.
6 hours it took me to research all that shit. And it like, obviously, you put the work in.
It's kind of like a counselling session for your FPL team.
Yeah, exactly.
Just having that time to reflect on things is very valuable. So yeah, very happy to be back in the streaming hot seat with you, Dave.
Cheers. Right, so before I take a drink, I'm very excited about the drink. Today, folks, what we are doing is we are going to have to sort out our money where your mouth is differential squad. It has been lacking in everything. I haven't looked at it in ages, haven't touched it. I think we spent 2 transfers so far. We've got about 6 flags probably. I'm sure we still have a Lacazette, that kind of thing. It's it's looking dire. So we're going to take this stream and we're going to probably wildcard a whole new differential team. So we're going to need your help. If you're watching this post video when we actually have this up on the YouTubes, please still send in your suggestions, because we're probably not going to hit a good wild card in an hour, but it's going to be entertaining. Before we start that, have you made your transfers for this week?
I haven't. No. I'm very underprepared today. I've set Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
Is Zaha out? Oh no, I didn't even know Zaha was out.
It's been flagged all week, to be fair.
So now okay, right. So I am going to make a transfer now. Prior to this stream, I didn't know whether I was actually going to make one. I definitely will now, because I've got Lamptey and Zaha definitely out. I'm not comfortable with only having one bench option, so I'm definitely going to make a transfer. It's going to be Zaha out, I think. I'm going to leave Bruno where he is. Salah will have to wait another week.
How much have you got in your bank?
Zaha out. I've got the difference between Salah and Bruno. Plus, I think I had a bit of spare change. I've got 1.7 in the bank, so I can go up to a 9 million asset by getting rid of Zaha, or, and this is what I'm tempted to do at the moment, go down to Diogo Jota.
I like that move. Everyone's gonna like that move.
I love that move too. Advice in the chat would be valuable, because I haven't given this as much thought as I should have done. Ziyech is also tempting, but he's obviously got Spurs next, which I don't love, but he's such a good player. I wonder whether he might be fixture proof anyway. But Jota, I really like Jota at Wolves. So the fact that he's now at Liverpool and seemingly starting every week is real pause for thought. Didn't start midweek either, so he's fresh. Yeah,
100%. So you're going to be playing your James Diaz, Masuaku at the back. Taylor goes onto the bench for Wilson, probably. Zaha comes on, Jota comes on for Podence. Podence is your first choice bencher, potentially.
Well, I mean, if I don't get rid of Zaha, he would be in the match. But obviously, yeah, he will be my first on the bench.
Fair play. A few people coming in for the in the chat. Have to go for Jota, says Gridlock. Oblivious says Southampton assets are underrated at the moment, and that's without Ings. And then FaZe Ahmed says, is Castagna fit? So there's a few people that you could go for. I'm not 100% sure if he is fit or not. I'm pretty sure he is, though. Yeah?
Castagna's a defender, though.
No, I know. I think people are just looking for, because obviously you've got in there Lamptey, which is flagged. And Lamptey, I think everyone's just going to keep him. I have made my transfers, James, while you were deliberating. I don't want to spend too long on them, because we do need to sort out our wild card, and we'll need all the time we got. But I have made my transfers. My transfers have been, instead of going Salah, like we talked about, I have decided to go for Kevin De Bruyne.
Wow, you've done it.
Yeah, I did it. I actually did it.
And Dave, to what extent was your decision based on the fact that Nick Pope is injured?
It was quite big.
Right.
It wasn't huge. Okay, so this is what I was thinking, right? So I had a defensive setup of James, Kufal, Taylor, and Lamptey, right? Lamptey's out, Taylor's playing Man City, which meant I had to play Mitchell, who isn't playing anymore. So not only did my bench suck, because look at the bench that I've got just now, like it's really, really bad, but I would have to play Mitchell, and if he didn't play, then Taylor would have came in. So I felt like my bench was lacking, and I potentially was having to play 10 men with Taylor as my 11th man against Man City, which would have sucked. So I've taken my first hit of the season, and I've sorted that out. Now, originally I wanted to go Foden to Salah, and maybe Lamptey out for Diaz. However, that doesn't solve my bench problem with having Mitchell not playing anymore. So what I've decided to do is go to De Bruyne instead of Salah, which left me enough money to go from Mitchell to Diaz, which means I now have James, Diaz, Kufal as my back three, with Taylor and Lamptey on the bench, able to come in whenever, and I can swap those about, which makes me feel a lot more secure. Definitely.
In other words, it makes your team even more similar to mine, because I, of course, already own Diaz. No, I really like that move, Dave. I just want to say one thing, and then we obviously need to move on to the money where your mouth is side, but there's something in this side that bothers me, and it's not your transfer, it's not your -4. It's the fact that despite my compelling arguments about why you should captain Dominic Calvert-Lewin this weekend, you've shunned them and you've gone for Kevin De Bruyne. Can I just say very quickly, Kevin De Bruyne is about to play the second most defensively rigid team in the league so far. Calvert-Lewin is about to play the third worst, the third leakiest defensive team in the league so far. Calvert-Lewin has scored as many goals, Dave, as the entire Man City squad this season.
Yeah.
If they were if those price brackets were the wrong way around,
I know.
If Kevin De Bruyne was 7 million midfielder and Calvert-Lewin was an 11.5 million forward, the captaincy armband would be on Calvert-Lewin. It's interesting that psychology exists in FPL.
But the problem with that is that Calvert-Lewin needs a decent playing team behind him.
And he's got
do well, but Dean's out. Their defense is a shambles.
Dean's out. Dean's out. Dean
he provides a lot of crosses.
He got 2 assists last week. Had he not got those assists, no one would be batting an eyelid at the fact that Dean was out. Dean out is not an issue.
But that's because people don't watch the games. Dean is very, very, very important for getting Rodriguez into good positions because he takes that width. So it means that Rodriguez can then roam inside and pick out passes. The fact that potentially Rodriguez is going to have to now play a little bit supportive, and he's really bad at that, means that he's going to be playing further back, which means that whole right side's going to be missing that kind of attacking depth, which means we're going to be able to look on the left side, but we also know that Coleman's out, the other way around. So the problems with the width mean that Calvert-Lewin, who has a great head on him, might not be receiving much passing as I originally thought. However, I might just change it anyway.
The problem isn't Dean being out. The problem is that Kevin De Bruyne hasn't scored since game week 1 and has blanked in all but 2 games so far this season. Yeah.
Right, okay. You know what? Right, I've decided I'm going to go for Bruno. Right, we'll leave. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. We'll. You know what? Fuck. The annoying thing is that he's a striker though, and I have to striker has to score 2 goals to get as good as what De Bruyne would if he scored 1 goal, because he'll get bonus and everything else and a clean sheet. Well. What?
Kevin De Bruyne is on penalties as well.
He's on penalties. It's a difficult one.
Dave, let me just say this. Whatever captain you rest on, I'm going to try and persuade you to captain someone else.
Right, well, I'm going to leave it there. We've got 45 minutes, so I'm going to quickly sign out of of this. I don't even know if that's saved or not. And I'm going to log into our Money Where Your Mouth Is team. So just to remind people about Money Where Your Mouth Is, what we do is there's 2 rules. 1, their ownership has to be low. But not only that, rule number 2, they actually can't be talked about right now. If we buy a player and then later on he gets talked about, then fine, absolutely smashing, right? That means we've done a good job. That's what we want. Right? But we're not allowed to bring anyone in who's being talked about. Now, a few people have suggested Sterling coming in for us, but I feel like he might be getting talked about a bit too much.
Yeah, I agree, because Man City's fixtures are turning. Three games ago, Sterling
that would have been good, right? A couple weeks ago. However, that doesn't mean that we can't go for the likes of Aguero, who I think no one's talking about because he's not 100% fit yet. But I think for us, I think that's not bad. Or Tellez potentially, who's getting shouts.
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. This is interesting because, as someone very involved in the footstock scene, people are starting to pick up Aguero. He's in Cammy's team this week, so
Sorry.
from my perspective, well, I know, yeah, exactly. The fact he's in Cammy's team means that he's almost certainly not going to do well.
Yeah.
But but from my perspective, Aguero is starting to be. He's on the fringes of discussion. Let's put it that way. But yeah, it's a challenge because really, Dave, I feel as though ownership isn't necessarily the first metric we look at. The first metric that we really consider is just how much that player is being discussed at any point in time, right? So you can have a player who is really popular in game week 1 and probably still has quite a high lingering ownership, but
Yeah,
hasn't been like, a good example might be Sadio Mane, for example.
that's
No one's
true.
really talking about Sadio Mane, but he's probably still got quite a high ownership by virtue of game week 1.
I think that's a really good point. We have to also look at the fact that rule number 1 says that have to be low ownership. I think a dwindling ownership, or maybe not necessarily like someone who's 20% owned, but he used to be 40% owned, and everyone's getting off
Exactly. Yeah,
him.
exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, rule number 1 is ambiguous, but mostly it's just that no one's bringing them in. I think
Yeah,
is the
precisely.
key thing, right? No one's bringing them in.
Precisely.
So, are you ready to look at this fucking team?
You know what? I genuinely have. I'm not in any of the same leagues as this team. I don't know where to find this team.
No, I know. I'll need to put him in with the Ben Dinnery thing. I think we'll do this at the end. But yeah, so we've got Allison in goals, Wan-Bissaka, Walker, and Webster from Brighton. In midfield, we've got Captain Ward-Prowse, Almiron from Newcastle, Luka Mora, and Mahrez, and we've got Rodrigo up front with Lacazette and Firmino. Now,
Rodrigo. God.
no, I know. So I think we're gonna have to do some wild carding. It's not as
Oh,
bad as I thought it would be.
it still looks better than Ben Dinnery's current wildcard
No,
team.
I know. Are you wanting to wild card? You just want to take a couple of hits,
No, 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 no. We are wildcarding.
right? Okay,
There are plenty of fires here to put
right.
out. So
I didn't know Wan-Bissaka was flagged. Oh well, okay. We'll bring him out. We'll bring everyone out. Right. And you go, you know what? I don't actually mind Walker as a pick, by the way. I think we should leave Walker in. Out of all of them, Allison and Walker, I don't mind them.
no, I like Walker.
And maybe Firmino, because he's starting to come good.
Yeah, yeah, I like Firmino as well. Yeah.
So should we just
Um,
leave those 3 in,
I
just
think
to
get rid
start
of.
off the bat?
I think. What's your reasoning with Lacazette? Yeah, okay, get rid of Lacazette. Yeah,
Yeah. I want to get rid of them.
Yeah, no, I think Walker definitely. I'm happy with that as a spine.
Yeah. Oh, and Willie, Big Willie on the bench says it's raw. Yeah, no, I let's keep fucking Willie, of course. Third in line to the throne, as it were.
I've got some pretty creative suggestions to put in here, but we did actually have someone tweet us, didn't we, earlier today?
There's quite a few, and a few big names have messaged me. So on Twitter we
really?
had FPL Matthew, who was part of the Eight
Oh, yeah.
Simple Rules crew.
Yeah.
He messaged as well, so I'm gonna go have a look at what he said. Late Riser also chipped in with a few. But who would be your ultimate differential? You've obviously been thinking about it because you knew this was coming, right?
Of course, I've been
So you must
researching.
know.
Yeah, thoroughly.
Right, go
You
for
know
it.
me. My ultimate differential, and again, this is not being discussed. I don't think this player is being discussed. Is I don't want to say it now. I've really thought about. I genuinely have thought about this quite a lot, but now that I'm here, I don't want to say it. Mason Mount.
I like Mason Mount for whatever reason. Lampard is like, yeah, because Lampard is constantly talking about him all the time and fucking having him on, even though he shouldn't. Now the problem with Mason Mount is that Havertz is back and Pulisic is potentially back.
Yeah,
So
but Mount just keeps scoring and assisting at the moment.
we could bring him in. I don't think he's a long-term pick though. And this is
I
costing you money. We're gonna have to figure out how much money this is costing us
Well,
as
no,
well.
hang on
By
a
the
minute.
way,
The wild card is a single fiver. You
Do you
don't
think
pay
so?
for a transfer on the wild card. No, come on.
we'll make it a tenner then. It's
Oh,
a lot.
okay. Fine, fair
Right, it's
enough.
a tenner. See, I'm working for you guys. If you didn't know, any money, any transfers that we make cost a fiver. We've made 2 so far, so that's 10. Plus the wild card would be 20. So that means there's £20 in the kitty for the winner of the Firing Blanks League, and the code is right here. So if you haven't joined, do so, and you could potentially win big money.
Yeah.
Or not, because it's not allowed, James. So everything I just said is made up.
Yeah.
Right, I've got
Fake
the
money. It's IOUs.
I've got the Twitter up in front of us. Okay, so FPL Matthew said Ben Rama, which I want to hear your thoughts about that.
Yeah.
We've got
Interesting.
Colm, who said Martial, which I do like. Etsy from Jerome. Zaha's out. Palace has been playing okay-ish. Walcott has been shouted. Late Riser came in with Cavani. And great minds think alike, because I made him part of the thumbnail for this video. So I was very happy with that. Madison. But I feel like Madison's being talked about too much. So he would be out. Because a few players bringing him in, he's back. Matthew again with Torres, who I thought was a great show. He's like Foden, but
Yeah,
not
Ferran
as
Torres.
used.
I like the look of Ferran Torres
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
Sterling, which we talked about. Everton's Nkonku. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but now that Dean's out, he might potentially be playing on that side,
Yeah.
and he's 4
Yeah.
million.
4 million,
And then the
as good as
last
Nathan.
one was kind of very similar to the Mount shout, which is Abraham. Starting games, scoring goals, decent stats, says FPL Grape. And if Pulisic can't stay fit, then he's likely to continue up front. And,
Yeah.
like, Pulisic does have tinfoil legs.
Mm-hmm. He does, yeah, indeed, and there is an argument to be made, and controversial as this may be, I don't think this will necessarily happen. But has Abraham done enough to potentially to keep not necessarily to keep Werner out, but at least to maintain the system that Lampard's currently playing without Pulisic?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have a free scoring starting 11, and I
Do
think
you want to
Lampard
mess
has
that
that
up?
in the current Chelsea lineup.
Yeah.
Obviously Pulisic is a huge asset, but how great would it be to be able to bring Pulisic on against tired legs in the 60th minute rather than starting him every week? I think there's an argument to be made that Abraham has done enough to justify himself in that side. So, all good shouts, all good shouts. Let's start with Ben Rama, because he's an interesting one. Obviously, he came from Brentford, 25 million, I think they paid West Ham. Huge amount of hype around him as a championship player.
Yeah.
So far, he's got, I think, something like, hang on, let me have a quick look. It's something like 20 minutes.
Yeah, 19
he's
minutes.
Had 19 minutes in the league so far. Hasn't started any game. Came on for 1 point against Liverpool for 1 minute, and came on for 18 minutes against Fulham. And to be fair to him, did get an assist in that time for 4 points.
Yeah.
The moral of the story here is, if we're going to do this team, we need to have players that are starting, Dave.
Yeah.
I think Ben Rama is one for the future, definitely. And by this time, come game week 25, when I pay another tenner for our second wild card, maybe we'll look at Ben Rama more seriously. But I think at this point in time, we've got to rule him out, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think that the main problem with this team was that we picked a lot of players that weren't starting, and it's just so difficult to have a full team of players who might not start. Like, Risk was fun, but that's because we set it up in game week 0, right? But now that we have the information. With that in mind, I want to just put this out there, and chat, I want your opinions as well. Cavani versus Martial. Who are we bringing in?
Well,
it has to be one of them.
Martial personally, but let's let chat decide that one. Oblivious says Mount loved by Lampard, as you said, Dave, but will only last until Havertz and Pulisic can find their form. This seems to be the narrative around Mount, doesn't it? Yeah. And actually, that's what's given me pause for thought here.
You could get Kante if you really want a Chelsea player who's been playing out of his mind.
Tenny, you didn't say that. It's Raw, Liam, and Gridlock all say Martial. Daft says Jordan Ayew better than both.
Jordan Ayew, oh my goodness.
Can someone please explain Jordan Ayew to Daft? Can you just explain why you're so keen about Jordan Ayew? Great post hiatus. He had a pretty good little stint, I think. If I
do remember that
after the Premier League hiatus, but this season.
No, I think I guess most people are going to be wanting to go with Martial first, Cavani seconds, because they haven't played a lot of minutes with Cavani. However, Cavani looked really good during the week, and also he just makes it seem a little bit better up front. Like, when he comes on, he just creates more chances, a bit more running involved, and he looks more lively than Martial. I think the problem that I have is that, you know what, I wouldn't be surprised if Martial gets dropped.
Yeah, which is madness, isn't it? When we think about this time 6 months ago, the
No,
idea
I
of
know.
Martial being dropped, he seemed to score, more or less every single game. But yeah, I mean, Cavani's a really intelligent centre forward, one of the few remaining old school centre forwards, and
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I do. I just, again, I feel as though we're setting ourselves up for a fail here.
Well, what we can do
It,
then, we can go for Martial, and if Cavani starts playing over Martial,
we
then
can
we can
spend that
just
fiver.
we can swap them over,
I think that would be a worthy
or
fiver to spend.
we can buy both of them and have both of them in the team and one on the bench.
Oh, we could, because to be fair, we're not going to spend our budget,
We're not
are
gonna
we? We
spend it.
can't
No,
have Bruno or
no,
Salah or any of the good players.
no. We could do that. The only problem is like our starting lineup has to be exact. Like I think Martial will start this one, but if we think Cavani will start next one, we have to play him because if he
Well, but
doesn't, he will come on. They will sub him on.
well, that's code for you actually have to put some time into managing the team.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Is the problem. All right, maybe not. If do you want Aguero?
Mm.
Do we want
Aguero was
Aguero?
another one for me. So I think Man City is kind of our main untapped outlet when it comes to
Yeah.
putting together this wild card because, Man City are in that strange position where, despite their great fixtures, the only player that is being talked about really is Kevin De Bruyne in any serious fashion, and the defensive asset, I guess Cancelo and Diaz would be ruled out of this side, but Walker. I mean, is what's going on with Laporte at the moment? Is he playing
We're not
regularly?
sure, no, because Stones play during the week. Diaz plays all the time. Laporte probably will play all of the Prem games, but we do have Walker in, and we had him before
We
people
do.
were
We don't
talking
want to
about him.
double up, do we? We
Maybe
don't want to
not.
double up.
Gridlock says, "Can I ask why we're limiting to Man United forwards?" We were just talking about them first. We're not limited. Definitely, if you
Yeah,
have an alternative, definitely shout them out.
yeah,
And anyone, chat, anyone who you're thinking that we're missing out on or whatever, just give us a shout.
yeah. Please do. We need all the help we can get here.
Right, so we've got Martial, Firmino, and Aguero up front. I think that's a banging front
That's a
three.
beautiful. I mean, roll back the years, Dave, and this would be a classic front three. Let's. Are we going to do it in order of position, or
Yeah,
or
we
we
should
move
just
to midfield now?
yeah go midfield then. So I've got City up here. We've got Sterling and De Bruyne, who are probably too well owned.
Too
Foden's
discussed.
been
Yeah.
talked about a lot. Even Mahrez maybe, who we had originally. He's just not worth it in the team.
Ferran Torres remains a little bit untapped, though.
Yeah, he played 80 minutes, 60 minutes, then 90 minutes.
Can I
I
say, Ferran Torres? I'm thinking of getting him in my actual team.
No, don't say that,
Now.
mate. But City have had so many injuries that he had to play. But now I think like they've got their team back. It's going to be Sterling on one side, Foden or Mahrez on the other side, KDB, Fernandinho when he comes back, and Jesus up front until Aguero's fit. Like, where's Torres sitting?
Wow, he's a versatile player, mate. You're right. You're right. Okay. So maybe we move off Man City midfield then. Maybe Man City midfield as a collective are too discussed given their great fixtures on the horizon. So one midfielder, and while Zaha is out, I think it's all the more pertinent to mention is Eze.
Yeah. So
Crystal
someone
Palace.
mentioned them earlier on. Yeah, I think that's a great shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's out. He's got two decent fixtures. He can be on the bench because he's not got that much. He's not that much money. I think that's a good shout.
Is anyone bringing him in?
Nah, probably not. There's so many like he's nearly the same price as Jota, right? Like, would you bring him in over Diego Jota, who's flying right now for Liverpool?
I would not, and I am not.
Gridlock says, could someone like Werner be used? His ownership has plummeted and nobody talks about him anymore. That's true, but I feel like he's still like last week it was him for captaincy. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
the fact that
yeah,
people are talking about
agreed.
captains in this player, I feel like that's even a week
He's too hot right now.
He's too hot,
He's too
even
hot
though
right
he's
now.
simmering.
Dave, what if I told you there was a midfielder in the top 7 scoring midfielders so far this season that I haven't heard mentioned once?
Seven
You'd be keen, wouldn't you?
top scorer this year.
He scored more than James Rodriguez, James Ward-Prowse. He scored more than Jota, for example.
Who is it?
Sterling scored more than Aubameyang. That's not hard. It is.
No, but I'm getting hard. But who is it?
It is Pablo Fornals for West Ham.
Yeah, I like that
2.4%
shout.
owned.
Yeah,
No one's talking about him. He's scored
rightly so.
only 1 point less than Sadio Mane.
Wow, he's doing so well too.
Yeah.
He's assist king. He plays minutes.
Again,
Yeah, let's get him in.
I'm thinking about bringing him in. This is so useful for me.
Torres was supposed to come for me during this run. Jota's form and Man City's form changed that plan. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Anyone keen for Jorginho? I was listening to FPL Wire. Shout out. Love them, by the way. I know you don't listen to many pods, but you absolutely should. You should.
I hate all pods apart from yours.
And
okay. This is interesting. Shrinjoy, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, says official FPL talked about Fornals repeatedly. Sorry, Dave, I interrupted you there.
official FPL, as in like this, the scout.
The actual site.
Yeah, no one else. I feel like they don't count. If they talk about someone, I usually avoid them.
Well, true, but I think given the rules of this exercise, can we include a player that has been tipped by the actual Premier League?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they count. They don't count. People aren't talking about them. The corporation, the man is talking about them. And they have to because they're just going by points, right? And they're just looking up the points and being like, oh, no one's talking about him. People will click on our thing.
They're basically doing what we're doing now, I guess,
Yeah.
which is being, oh my God, he's actually 7th for midfielders.
Yeah. But the difference is that they're looking for like catchy things and we're actually trying to set up our differential team. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, leave me. He's only
I was
2.4%.
excited. I don't listen to it anyway.
No. Well, no one does.
Go for Podence got 19 points for me in 6 game weeks.
I like Podence, but I've got him in my team. I think he's too well owned.
Too well owned. Fair play.
Yeah,
Fair play.
yeah.
Is there anyone in Wolves that we like that isn't well owned that we might want? Neto doesn't play.
Traore is not being talked about, man, and he's starting again.
I know he's starting again, which is an issue. It's an issue.
He's a great player.
He's so good, but I feel like that's just such a waste of a position. Wolves don't really do that well anymore. They're not very attacking. There must be a more fun player to own.
Well, maybe we need to think premium with this midfield because so far we've got both our midfielders at a 6.5 and under. So maybe we need to think about who are those premiums.
Right, I'm going to read out some top midfielders then. You tell me to stop when we find someone who's not high owned.
What, can I suggest one first?
Yep. I think I know who you're going to pick.
Aubameyang.
Oh, no. No way.
No
11.4% owned.
People are getting rid of Aubameyang and have been for weeks now. Now is the time to bring him in, Dave.
I don't know if we can bring Aubameyang in. That's a horrible choice regardless.
Aubameyang is a differential. Have you seen a side? Have you seen a side of Aubameyang in it?
That isn't Ben's.
Even Ben got rid of him.
No, I know.
Tells you all you need to know.
Could we bring Pulisic in? He's injured for ages. No one's bringing him in. Everyone's looking at Ziyech. He's like their Mahrez, and we had Mahrez.
Yeah, no, I guess we. This is an interesting discussion point. Can we bring in a player who is injured but will be popular when they're back? Because we know that when Pulisic is back, people will start talking about him.
But we were there first.
We were there first. I mean, I'm happy to do it. Because
as
someone who, as a person that has to spend the money when the transfer is made, I feel confident bringing in Pulisic, knowing that eventually he will get regular minutes again.
Right. Okay. Let's do Pulisic. I think that's fun, and we deserve a fun pick. And I'll pick Aubameyang. I'll pick Aubameyang if you have to. He's going to play.
I just think he's one of the few premium midfielders that isn't being talked about in any serious capacity. Let me see how many
people brought it. Wow, he had minus 74,000 people this week, and he has been steadily going down every single week.
So that is perfect fodder for me.
Yeah. Okay, I'm happy with that. At least we've got a premium. All right. Okay. So we've only got 20 million actually. We've not got that much to spend. We've actually been able to spend our money this time. Shrinjoy says, I have a shout. In Saka's absence, Maitland-Niles is going to own his position, calling it now exceptional attacking talent in the dull Arsenal.
I like Maitland-Niles, actually, yeah.
Maitland-Niles. Is he a defender, or is he a midfielder?
He's a defender, I think.
Let's find out. Yeah, he is. I don't mind that Maitland-Niles is a pick, because he's random, it's weird. He doesn't tend to get money. I didn't know that Saka was out.
Liam Healy with a great shout, by the way. I know we've already done our front line, but Antonio,
Oh,
lest we forget.
definitely thinking about bringing Antonio as soon as he's back for Wilson.
Like he's an actual great player. He's a classic injured, but will be discussed as soon as he's
Yeah.
back.
Well, I feel like that's too much. At least because Antonio is the player you get from West Ham, whereas in Chelsea there's like Werner, James,
Yeah,
Chilwell. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Ziyech.
yeah.
So there's loads of players for Chelsea, but there's only one
Yeah,
for West Ham in attack that you really want. I feel like we can't go
yeah.
for talismans.
How much money do we have left in the bank, Dave?
We've got 20 million, so
Oh, shit. Okay, we cannot afford this team.
no, we might have to fuck about.
It's that front line.
We've only got
goddammit.
24 minutes left.
Okay, right. Let's put in a budget midfielder that no one's talking about, but who's really good at under 5 million.
Right. Okay.
Surely there's loads of those. I quite like Klitsch from Leeds.
Nah, people are
He's
talking
on-
about him. He's in
Are
people's
they?
teams. Yeah, because he's on
Oh, is he?
pens, right?
Okay. What about?
What about Lookman from Fulham?
Oh, Lookman. No, I can't get over that penalty.
I know, but he actually hasn't been doing bad. He's fun to watch. The problem
Yeah.
with him is that he plays for Fulham, but that's not
How
a
much
problem
does he
for our
cost?
team. 5 million.
Okay, I like his price point definitely.
I can't see anyone else that's like.
Oh, Dave.
Oh, what?
Solly March.
You want to put March in the team?
Solly
could-
March,
I mean, we could.
my one of my favourite FPL assets.
He's flagged.
of
He's flagged.
time.
Why is he flagged?
I know he
Ankle
is.
injury.
I know. That, I mean, even less people are talking about him, and there were already quite a
He's
a
had 2
small
goals and
amount
an
of people
assist.
talking about him.
Yeah, that's true. He's got
He's
2
doing
goals
so
and an
well at
assist.
the moment, though.
Is he?
Yeah.
If this
It's
is so
Solly-
well, I don't know if
I think Solly March is one of the most talented midfielders operating in the Premier League at the moment.
Right, okay. All right. All right.
Joke, I'm sorry.
No, you sold him.
No.
You sold him.
No,
you know
he's
who we could pick? What about Thiago from Liverpool? Do you think that's
Alcantara.
the one where you couldn't quite,
probably-
you didn't know what Thiago you were talking about in the
Yeah,
footstock
yeah.
thing, and I had to
Yeah.
edit that out.
Yeah.
Took you ages.
Do people call him Thiago then? I
Yeah,
thought
they
they
do.
called him.
Nah, Thiago.
Yeah. I mean, has he played yet in the Premier League?
He played 45 minutes in Game Week 2 and then played 90 minutes in Game Week 5. But he's been
Okay,
injured is the
he's not-
problem.
Well, yeah, okay. Do you think he'll be a regular starter when he's fully fit? Do you
probably
believe that 1.1% of teams own him as well? That's
No, I know. It's not great. Right, it's March or Lookman.
If you spoke to 100 managers, Dave, one of them would own
That's
him.
higher than I would
mad.
think.
That's mental.
Like, definitely on
Lookman,
Twitter.
yeah, I think Lookman is the most compelling of the options that we've discussed. So let's put him in for 5. But then that gives us 15 million to fill 3 defensive spot. That's okay. That's fine.
That's not bad. That's 5 million each or something.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I've lost Lookman already.
Just have a Lookman around.
Fuck's sake. Right, is there anyone in the chat that he will be with Fabinho in defence, guys. Thiago will
Gridlock
play.
says Thiago will play. Yeah, Fabinho and Matip are Liverpool defence for the future. Thiago is slotting into midfield. Yeah, that does seem to be what will happen in the short term. Gridlock, but I'm interested to know whether he will be playing 3 or 4 game weeks from now.
Yeah.
At least
Right.
3 months with Gomez, says Gridlock.
Right.
Oh, interesting from Stringjoy, who says switch Aubameyang for Pogba.
Pogba. He won't
Pogba.
play, surely.
Mate, do you remember Pogba?
I do. We had him in the team before. I don't think Pogba's going to play, though. Because they've got, what's his
I don't think
name?
he's played anything, has he?
Because their Van der Beek's played during the week, and what are you howling at? What has she said?
No, nothing. Izzy's trying to be really quiet in the kitchen. It's just funny watching her like move in slow motion.
At least she's in her rightful place. No, I'm joking. I'm not one of those. It was too easy. Right, we've got 11.2 million to spend for 3 positions. I think this might be undoable, and we might need to knock back a
It's
Firmino.
mathematically impossible to fill these positions.
Right, so maybe Firmino needs to get downgraded, or Aguero
Or
maybe.
yeah, Firmino. I mean, Firmino. I'm more happy to downgrade him because we've had him in our team for the first 11
It's
games and we've
finally
done
coming good.
overall. Well, yeah, this is Firmino in a nutshell, though, isn't it?
No, I know.
He always does well for you just as you're about to get rid of him.
Right, is there anyone in defence? Alba out says good luck. Yeah, no, I don't. Alba's taking a lot of
Yeah.
our money. To be fair,
Well, he is, yeah, but we need one premium midfielder, do we not?
we do. We definitely do.
Aguero. Point the finger at Aguero and Firmino, not poor bloody Aubameyang who starts every week.
I love that we're only looking for people who start like that's a big thing for us. It's such a strange phenomenon. All right, so first of all, I want to go for that Everton defender who is going to play instead of Dean. Because, I mean, who's going for him unless you're on wildcard? No one, right?
And Kudu.
Yeah, and Kunku.
Yeah.
We could also go for Branthwaite as our nothing defender, and then that means that if it's potentially Branthwaite that plays in that position, because it's a bit up in the air at the moment between the two.
Okay.
We could play them. We could get them both just in case, and he's
like
very cheap.
I like his price bracket.
Yeah, he's very cheap. So in which case we would only need one more, and we've got 3.3. Yeah, just three. That is very, very, very differential.
No, we don't. I mean, what I'm thinking about is how much baggage I'm going to have to deal with further down the line. So
no, I know. Right, okay. Let's take
the idea of having both of these fringe Everton defenders is already a little bit repellent.
Yeah, okay.
So let's make sure the last one we put in is someone who is decent. All right, let's. I'm not going to fight with you, Dave. If you want to get rid of Aubameyang, we can, because it would free up funds.
Well, let's look at the defence first, and we'll see who we want to bring in.
I mean, we definitely can't bring in another two defenders with the budget.
I know, but we can see who we want. We can see how much we need to downgrade for, and we'll just fill the places up.
That makes sense.
Captain Richarlison, someone said.
Yeah.
I like that.
Richarlison, though, is he not...
People are talking about him.
Yeah, now that he's back.
We could downgrade Willie, that's true. We've got a lot of money saved up in Willie, but he's our best bencher by far.
That's a great point, though, because there are goalkeepers who actually start who are cheaper than Willie.
That's true. Is there any 3.9 no, there's not. Do any of these guys start?
I mean, isn't Willie 4.7?
Yeah, we could get a 4.0 nobody.
No, we can get a 4.5 who starts every match.
That's true. That's true.
We're not.
Should we get Areola just because of his name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Although, do you even need to ask?
It means we can only have one more Fulham player. Which might be an issue.
How has this occurred?
Right, okay. So we've got two more spots. We've got 7.4 million. We still can't do it, but we wouldn't have to downgrade that much. I'm just looking at on the top end of players price wise. David Luiz is jumping out.
Stringjoy says Ryan is going to drop to 4.4 tonight.
Should we get him before the drop? Just to really show them. What about Tellez? Mate, Shaw might get dropped. That is a huge shout.
Yeah. Let's get him.
I love that we've just thrown out the whole. We need to make sure these lots start.
Wait, got Tellez a starter.
Well, he started in the week and looked way better than Shaw ever has.
Wait, Dave, he's 5.5 million.
I know.
Just been talking about budget, and you want to bring in a 5.5 million defender
But we might be downgrading Aubameyang. So come on now.
Okay, yeah. Well, we're going to have to downgrade Aubameyang.
Right. Okay. Well, let's go for someone cheaper then.
Just meet me in the middle. No. I like Tellez. I do like Tellez, but just meet me in the middle and make sure when we do downgrade Aubameyang, it's to someone who's good.
Okay.
Someone who's exciting, because I think Aubameyang is exciting to own in that he could score. He could be one of the best performing players between now and Christmas.
That's true.
Like he's got that in him.
All right. So defense wise, then zoom out a little bit. You're right. Sorry, I zoomed in because I was on double screen, and now look at me.
Intense.
It was really big. Someone's a big fan of Areola. I am as well.
Says Jamal Lewis.
Lewis has been talked about though. I was looking at him as a potential Mitchell upgrade though. are enough people talking about him to allow us to not get him? We could just
I
get
think
another
if you were
Newcastle.
Dave, then that's a no-go.
We could get another Newcastle defender though, that no one's talking about.
Yeah, we could.
Always an option. Anyone else? Anyone you've been thinking of? Scott Dan?
Well, yeah, hang on a minute. No, there is actually, Dave, because who is the team that I keep banging on about as far as their defensive underlying stats go?
Taylor,
what we really want
Brighton.
here, what we really want here are the teams that no
Leeds.
one thinks are good, but who statistically are good.
Arsenal.
And Burnley is that team.
Burnley, I knew
know
it.
they've got Man City next. But Burnley, I mean, a lot of people have got Charlie Taylor. A lot of people invested in Nick Pope early in the season. Burnley's underlying stats defensively are the second best in the league. Let's bring in the likes of, I don't know, who's their centre back these days? Tarkowski, is he still there?
Tarkowski's still playing. He's a lot of money though.
But no one owns him. No one's talking about him.
No one owns Ben Mee. 0.2%. I'd rather just. He's 4.9 million.
The fact that Alcantara is more owned than Ben Mee is madness. It's madness to Ben Mee.
I hate Lewis and Mitchell as tweeted to Dave. Yeah, absolutely.
I have Lewis. Not I
Alba
hate.
is 11.4% owned. That's true.
And he's 11.6 million. Okay, that could have been pretty exciting.
We've got 8.6 million for our midfielder if we take out Thingy. That's a lot. How much is Bale?
Yeah, no. So I've looked at Bale already during this chat.
Oh, did you?
Bale is 9.5, but he's only played. He's only played about 100 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he's not starting.
He's only played in 3 games.
But he will eventually start, surely.
Well, will he though? Because
will he?
Because he's but Bolly though, because he's basically done nothing. And you look at midweek last night. Vinicius started, and scored 2, got an assist as well. Looks incredible. Bale was subbed off for having done virtually nothing. So obviously Bale has the potential, but I'm not sure if I was Mourinho that I'd be looking to start Bale imminently.
Right. Okay. Would you rather downgrade a striker then? We can leave Aubameyang in the squad. We can downgrade a striker, and if we downgrade, say,
I like the idea of getting
Firmino.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then we've got 6.2 million. Guess who's 6.2 million? I know exactly how much he is because I've been keeping an eye on it.
Go on.
Antonio is 6.2 million.
Okay.
We can't do it though. We absolutely can't do it. He's a talisman, but I wish we could, but we can't.
Okay. Wait, hang on. Why can't we do it?
Because, like we said, he's not the same as Pulisic. He's in the category of he's injured, so no one owns him, but they will own him as soon as he comes good. However, my problem is that he's the only player in the attacking West Ham group that you would pick, whereas Pulisic is one of 5. So therefore, you can't compare them.
How about this, Dave? If you want a 6.2 who starts every single match, scored last game week, has a great FPL heritage, look no further than Chris Wood at Burnley.
Yep. I had him up on the screen.
Did you? Did you really?
I picked him before your speech finished, yeah. He scored 2 goals in 9 games. He's got Man City, then Everton, then Arsenal. He's their attacking outlet. He is a very big differential. Is there anyone better though that we could potentially go to?
Surely there's going to be better than Chris Wood, but I mean, you've got McGoldrick at Sheffield United, who's done very little. You've got, dare I say it, you do have Jordan Ayew.
Why is Jordan Ayew such a big deal? He scored
Dash
against
loves
Leeds.
Him, brought him in.
He's got Newcastle, then West Brom.
And then we're getting down to like the Rodrigos of the world.
Yeah, I don't really want that. The fucking McBurnies.
Here's an interesting prospect. Batshuayi. Now he didn't start the first 4 games. He then started the following 3 games and got 2 assists in that.
Yeah. And
then was rested in game week 8, started in game week 9 now again and played the full 90. So there is an argument to be made. I mean, Batshuayi looks like he looks fairly. I don't want to say nailed, but with Zaha out, I think Batshuayi is going to play this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
10-minute alert. Thank you very much, chat. Appreciate that. I'm going to counter your Batshuayi argument with the fact that he is horrible. He's really bad.
You mean he's a horrible person?
No, he's
not very good
shite.
at
He's so shit.
Is he?
Welbeck has been doing well though. He got a goal. He's looked good. He's kind
You
of
might say
nailed.
he's been doing Welbeck.
I would prefer Welbeck just for the banter, and the fact that Brighton have looked good. They just haven't had that clinical finishing, whereas Wood plays for, the team that we like for defence. At least Welbeck will be fun.
What's going on with Mopé at the moment?
I don't know. I have no idea. Isn't Welbeck playing, not?
Oh, Mopé started. Yeah, so Mopé started last week with Welbeck.
Yeah. I think Welbeck's on the wing. He's out of position striker.
Okay. All right. You know what? I think the idea of having Welbeck in this team, I think Welbeck is the player that sums up the spirit of.
Aye. I think that the Burnley striker would be a better choice, but not necessarily a better fit for this squad and what it represents, which is the fact that no one is talking about Welbeck, surely. And if they are not doing it this game properly.
This is. I'll tell you what though.
It's not a bad looking team.
And I think to myself, this is either going to be terrible or it's going to get the highest game week score.
This is the type of team to get the highest game week score.
Yeah, exactly. This is the kind of team where you look at it and you think, who the hell would put in Welbeck and Fornells and Lookman, and then it's like, yeah, we would.
Official FPL mention them, which I feel like is our bread and butter now. I have one player.
We should just go through the players.
I have one player that I want to discuss, and they might potentially be too high owned, but I just thought of him there. Barnes from Leicester, 4.2% owned. He's not really been talked about. He's hardly started. However,
didn't Barnes used to be in this team?
Did we have him beforehand?
I think no. I don't think we had him pre-wildcard, but I think when we did this last season,
we just popped him in.
We had Barnes in there.
Do we like him? We could get him. We could get him over Fornells.
I do. I think Fornells is ideal for this because he's ultimately scored more points than Barnes, and he starts more. I would imagine less people are talking about him. Right. I would say if we're going to replace him with anyone, it should either be Easy or Lookman.
And we can't really afford it. We can't afford it. 0.7, Barnes is 6.9.
I'm happy not to have Barnes. I feel like Barnes, with Leicester's fixture next week, I feel like Barnes will probably be more transferred in than not this week. So
yeah,
I'm happy to go without him. He's also scored midweek, so he's in. People are aware of him, I think.
Yeah, it's Ross says Tielemans is a shout, but we can't do that because Ben Dinnery has Tielemans. Remember,
got rid of him this week.
I know, but the fact that he was in his shitty fucking team, I feel like we've got to just ignore that. Liam says this is going to end in tears. I mean, we don't have high expectations, so it can only end in joy or indifference.
Speaking of joy,
yes,
Stringjoy in the chat.
Oh, I love it.
Has said go for under. Immense talent, weird low move for him, excellent. I feel like Stringjoy should be on this stream because all of his shouts have been
great. Under has been shouted. We can afford him for Etsy, or we could go for him instead of Lookman, which I don't mind, and then we just need to downgrade Areola to someone who actually.
We're not downgrading Areola.
Well, then what about Maitland-Niles then? To a 4.5, nobody. Like, we can go Lookman to under, which I prefer maybe, because that's at least fun. And then we need to find 0.2 million somewhere. I reckon we could downgrade Maitland-Niles. We could downgrade me. We could just put Areola to it. No, but Areola's name's too good.
Yeah, no, I don't. We definitely can't downgrade.
You know that Areola used to play in the youth team with a player and defender called Fanny.
Really?
Yeah, my mate told me that. Amazing,
fantastic.
Amazing team.
Need Fanny to move into the league as well, so
that'd be good. We could have them both.
Yeah.
We've got Fofana.
I'm loving these timestamps that the chat is giving. That's
5 minutes,
really
right?
helpful.
And I need to go back and get my my captain sorted as well.
I need to actually make my transfer, which I still don't know what I'm going to do. So again, 5 minutes chat to put in your suggestions for who I get rid of Zaha for. At the moment, no one has dissuaded me to not bring in Jota, so I think Jota's going to be the one.
Right, I'm going to get rid of Maitland-Niles. I know it was a good shout, but we have to do it.
No,
and
do
for a
do
4.5 that no one owns, what about Ivanovic for West Brom? Just as like an ode to West Brom defender.
The worst defensive outfit in the league so far, but arguably the least talked about too. So,
or we could go Klein instead, who does get a game for Crystal Palace. It's the same It's the same team as what we were looking at before. The only difference is that we've got enough money for him. He's played 90 minutes the last 3 games. Nathaniel Klein. No, not feeling it.
No. I mean, no one's talking about him. So yeah. Why not?
Right, the team is money 0. We've got in the team, just for the chat, Areola, Allison, Klein, Nkunku, Walker, Tellez, me, Etsy, Fornos, Pulisic, Aubameyang, Under, Martial, Welbeck, and Aguero. We are playing our wild card. We are confirming this, and we have to quickly pick the bench. I think on the bench should be Etsy and me.
Really? No. Etsy at Newcastle. No.
Well, who's playing? Let's bench Pulisic just now then.
Yeah.
And
he obviously needs to be benched. Yeah, I think.
And then Klein can be our first guy.
I think potentially Nkunku could go on the bench.
Well, he might be playing.
Yeah, but against that, but if
would you want to play Klein then against Newcastle?
I feel like Pulisic is one who, if he plays, he'll either play or not.
Right. Okay.
Actually, that's not necessarily true. Maybe he will come in. But I think Newcastle is a better fixture. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I like that.
I don't want to bench Welbeck. I think Welbeck needs to be on the pitch. Someone said bench him.
Well, he's the obvious choice, isn't he? Let's play Pulisic. Let's keep Welbeck on the bench, but he'll likely come in.
Right. So who am I benching?
So Welbeck.
Right. Okay. Like that.
I think me is third on the bench.
Right. I got you. Like this.
Yeah. And Under.
Who are we captain? Who are we captaining?
Under.
What? No, it's got to be Aguero. Surely, if he starts, think about that.
Dave, but think about it though. He's underrated.
Sold. Right. Vice captain sorted. Team finished. Sorted. Thank you very much, everyone who helped. I need to go and change my captain immediately. We have like 2 minutes left. Have you done your transfer
yet? Change it to Under. Wait, the deadline's at 7:00.
No, it's not. It's 6:30.
No, it's not.
Mate, I'm telling you, it is.
Oh God,
mate, do it right quick. Don't fucking argue it. You don't have enough team. I'm not having you on. It says it right there. I'm fucking looking at it. Half.
Oh God,
6.
it does. Yeah, Jota's in.
You're doing it. I think I might just captain Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, it is the best captaincy choice this week by far. He is. Dave, don't think, just do it.
Aye, but I'm going against the ASABLE rules. Always captain someone who's obvious. He is obvious though.
He's the most obvious, but in every single metric.
He is. But Fernandez's away form though is pretty good, and Southampton's defence are pretty shit when coming up to the big guys.
Even Shrinjoy agrees with me, and he's definitely the cleverest person here.
Right, I'll just leave it Calvert-Lewin. I can't believe I'm captaining fucking Calvert-Lewin. It doesn't sit right with me at all. Not at all.
Calvert-Lewin by far the best choice. You'll thank me. You'll thank me on Monday.
Is that when he's playing Monday? Do I have to wait till Monday? Oh no, right, okay.
No.
He's playing Saturday.
I will gratefully take your thanks.
Right, okay. I mean, if he blanks, I'm gonna be so pissed off. But if Fernandez blanks, and I can't,
Calvert-Lewin doesn't blank, Dave. That's the first thing you got to learn about.
No, DCM. I know. I guess that's the thing, right? He's blanked once. Mate, he's gonna blank as soon as I captain him, though. That's the FPL guarantee.
Like, Calvert-Lewin doesn't blank. That's the beauty of him.
Right. Okay.
He is by far the best option in terms of his opponents, in terms of his underlying stats, in terms of his form. everything about Dominic Calvert-Lewin says captain him.
All right, all right. Well, the I think that's us. I think it's finished. I didn't get a screenshot of the. Oh, I'm getting one now. It's not quite gone yet. Screenshot. Hold on. Do 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 do. Right. That's us.
Gridlock captain Mane.
Captain Mane. Did you? Put the C on Mane. I like that as a captaincy option.
Yeah.
This wasn't necessarily a deadline stream, but that felt like a deadline stream, didn't it? Like going right down to the wire. So who did you captain then?
I captain Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Right, so did I. And who's your vice captain? Bruno.
Bruno, and I bought in Jota.
For who again?
Who starts for Zaha.
Who is thingy. So you've got on your team up front, you've got Calvert-Lewin, Kane, and Wilson. In midfield, you have Jota now, Bruno, Son, and
Grealish. Yeah. And then defence,
you've got
Diaz,
James,
Masuaku,
and Kufal. I've got Kufal instead of Masuaku, and we both have Martinez. The only player difference in our team, mate, is you have Jota, and I have Kevin De Bruyne.
I don't know how that's happened.
Because I've got Wilson, DCL, I've got Kane, and Bruno, Grealish, Son, Kevin De Bruyne, and then my bench is someone random, and then my defense is Kufal instead of Masuaku, Diaz, and James, and we both have the same keeper. Mate, that's mental. Who would you rather have though, KDB or Jota? I don't know. It's a toss-up.
Tell you what, I mean, yeah, it's not that easy actually. Jota scored more points, I think. So, on current form, you probably would want Jota, wouldn't you? But I really rate Brighton as an opponent, and that's why I didn't bring in Salah because, Salah's great if you've got him perfect, but to waste a transfer on bringing in Salah for Fernandes when Fernandes has the better fixture. I think is a bit of a waste. So I'm only bringing in Jota because Zaha is definitely out. Otherwise, I would have kept it as is, I think.
Yeah, fair play. Right, chat. Thank you very much for joining on this very weird wildcard journey. I'm actually very excited about the.
I care more about that than my actual
team. We need to join. Actually, need to join the thingy league. Do we know what the Beat the Dinnery league thing is? I forget.
Not off the top of my head.
Oh, I forget what it is. I potentially have it. No, I don't know. Google has remembered some drop downs, and I don't know which one is which. I could just join them all and see what they are. I don't know. Yeah. I'll ask Holly. We'll definitely join in. We'll see where we are. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. James, thank you for having us in your life this evening. Good luck with Captain Dominic Calvert-Lewin and with most of your teammate. We're gonna have to diversify our team somehow.
Yeah,
it's boring, too close.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's dull, but thank you and good luck to you. I hope you have a great game.
I hope you have the bestest game week of all time.
I hope Kevin De Bruyne gets sent off.
And I hope Jota breaks his stubby wee ankles. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.
Are we done yet?
We are done, mate. Yeah. Let the points shower on us all.
Yeah. I've got to go, I'm afraid, mate. I've got a pretty tight deadline here.
Yeah, for dinner?
Yes, indeed.
Right, thanks.